Yo everyone, welcome, Sandro Chia here, welcome back to the channel, and another Tuesday, another episode of Black Clover. Kind of feeling a bit out of it this evening, or tonight rather, I just, but yo, still wanted to do the reaction at least, Yami versus Dante. Still need to go on, still need to go on for that animation wise, so we're gonna get into it. But of course, I hope you guys had a great day. It's Tuesday. Of course, if you're new here and you like Black Clover, make sure the volume's good here. Yeah. Definitely subscribe. We'll be covering the manga, especially with the anime ending in the end of March. So we'll be doing a lot of discussions, manga reviews, all the works. But respect for tuning in if you're new here, and if you're returning, you know the drill. Respect in all aspects as well. Let's get into tonight's reaction. Like, again, it sucks that the anime is ending on episode 170, but I did a whole video kind of discussing that, it makes sense in the grand scheme of things. The anime is just too close to the manga, and there's not much room for, it's organic canon filler. They'd have to do like a full-blown filler arc. And at this point, they're like little under, they're a little bit under 40 chapters behind from the manga in terms of the events of this episode. So honestly, it's not gonna hold up. Bring out the boxing gloves. Yeah. Jeez of peace. Wanna feed us the face. It's always interesting when Tabata, introduces these flashbacks like this late in the game for, a lot of these characters. I think it might be a good move in the grand scheme of things, holding off on, giving too much too early. What I kind of like about this, even when I read it in the manga, is that though that whole weird character quirks, it's actually rooted in some deep, I guess psychological trauma. Can I put it like that? There's more to it than meets that. It's not a superficial like weird quirk a lot of the Black Bulls have. It's rooted in some kind of trauma from their past. So I kind of like that as well. With the episode being, Dante versus the captain of the Black Bulls, you would think we wouldn't be getting much Dre in this episode. Not that I mind, but probably should have, named the episode Cinderella Grey. I think that was a chapter name. Boom. Stop the foolishness, brother. The general is here. Yeah. Alright. Ready for this quick draw? Alright, that clean a while ago. That last. On a side note, anybody like ever feel like the Heart Kingdom big but just small at the same time? This is what was one of the most disappointing things in the manga. Because we didn't really get that 6 months, see what happened in the 6 months. It's like, you heard about the Spirit Guardians, but, you know, they got taken out and didn't really see them do much in the manga, if anything at all, so... I guess in the grand scheme of things, I'm glad the anime did what it did and, you know, we got the 6 months training, even though it could have been more. True lightning magic. Alright, so I know that wasn't much of a reaction as the last 2 weeks, but I'm not like, I kind of feel disappointed by the episode. You know, like sometimes you're watching some anime and like the opening shows you a bunch of scenes that actually never happened in the anime are in the story overall based on what you know about it. For example, like the newest Boruto opening with Kawaki and Boruto versus G, and that never actually happens in the manga. Unless they're gonna put it in the anime somehow. But yeah, it kind of feels like, I mean, we did get a few scenes here with Dante versus Yami, but to actually name the episode, you know, Dante versus the Black Cat, like, I don't know, I just don't think it fits, honestly. But I think coming out of this episode, I feel more convinced, more so than ever, that I think it is best for the anime to become a seasonal, honestly. While this episode, in terms of its story contents, there's not much problems with it, with, you know, going beyond the superficial character quirks of Grey to, you know, show you where her character quirks come from, you know, getting us more hyped for, you know, with Yami coming in, Asta being defeated, things in the Heart Kingdom kind of raising up in terms of stakes as well. So in terms of investment and interest from as an audience or as a watcher, especially if you're an anime only watcher, I would say you're very interested. But on the flip side of things, I think this episode kind of reminds me of one problem I had when I just got into Black Clover, because I started with the manga initially, and to be honest, there were times watching the anime I was like, yo, this isn't as bad as everybody says animation wise, but there were some scenes animation wise where I just think it didn't give me that kick I was expecting, you know, coming over from the manga to the anime. Like, for the most part, the scenes are alright, but, you know, it just feels like it's lacking that punch, you know. And of course, this isn't like a high stakes, high, you know, super high budget episode in terms of, I would say, the amount of time they put into it compared to what I would think the latter episodes or the finale of the series is going to be, episode 170. But I just think it reaffirms that the anime does need to become seasonal. But for the most part, this was a decent episode. I like seeing the Grey scenes, of course, Dante versus Yami, and the Heart Kingdom. There's not much more to say about this episode, really, honestly, but it is what it is. I hope you guys enjoyed at least my opinion on it, at least, and my I know it's not much of a reaction for this week, but yeah. But I hope you guys are doing great. Thanks for tuning in. If you made it this far, all the CM respect. Of course, rate, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next Black Clover video.